dissipating. Otherwise, a mainly sunny day and summer-like temperature-wise with a guaranteed high of 28 degrees, the humidex near 32. We could be breaking some records today. Now, right along parts of the coast with a west-southwest wind of 15 to 30 this afternoon. It will be closer to 22 degrees, but lots of sunshine on the way for today. Tonight, it's mainly clear with west-southwest winds remaining near 15 to 30. The overnight low 14. Tomorrow, not as warm, but still above seasonal with a high of 22. Mainly sunny, a southwest wind of 20 to 40. Today's guaranteed high, 28.
And currently in downtown Halifax, 15. At the airport, 14. Guaranteed high, 28. We'll have another check of traffic and weather together in less than 10 minutes. 95.7 News Time, 6:33. Well, no change in the Lake George fire over the weekend. The Department of Natural Resources says the wildfire continues to burn out of control. The fire now covering an estimated 285 hectares. DNR says dry and windy conditions have made it difficult to fight the fire, adding crews continue to work hard with the aim of limiting growth and protecting homes and structures. Over 100 firefighters remain working on the blaze, along with airplanes, helicopters, and several pieces of heavy machinery. Now, meantime, our week weather-wise starting out unusually warm with the chance of records being broken. But 95.7's weather specialist Alistair Alder says there may be a little bit of relief about midweek that could be helpful for the Lake George wildfire.
High pressure dominates for the start of the week with warm and sunny weather, but there is a cold front on the horizon due to move through as we go later in the day Wednesday and Wednesday night. So that will bring some rain and showers to the province. It looks like right now a general 10 to 20 millimeters of rain. However, there could be some areas that exceed 20, maybe even 30 millimeters of rain. Right now that's possible along the Fundy Coast through parts of the valley into Cumberland County. That's what the guidance is showing. And certainly hoping that does pan out because those areas really do need the rain, especially with the Lake George wildfire. As that front clears, we could see a few showers behind it into and on Thursday, especially in the east, but overall really not a lot of weather to talk about as we head into the upcoming Thanksgiving weekend.
And Alder says today, though, we'll be feeling more like August with a good chance of breaking records. He says the current record at Halifax Stanfield for this date is 24 degrees. Today's guaranteed high is set for 28. The other news of the morning, a fire at an apartment building in Windsor on Saturday, leaving approximately 10 people without homes. Officials were called to the fire Saturday afternoon at a 4-unit apartment building on O'Brien Street. Windsor Fire Chief James Harvey saying there were no injuries. Fire is not deemed to be suspicious at this time. Harvey tells the CBC the fire broke out near an outdoor heat pump, but he says the cause has not yet been determined. The Premier says he is pleased with Nova Scotia's relationship with the federal government. His comments coming after recent meetings between Tim Houston and federal officials on the Wind West project. 95.7's Mark Hodgins with more on that for us.
Last week, the Premier was in Ottawa for 2 days of meetings, both with the Federal Energy Minister and Prime Minister Mark Carney. The topic of discussion was the much-lauded Wind West project, which officials here in Nova Scotia say could generate a quarter of Canada's energy needs through offshore wind. Houston says he had good conversations in Ottawa.
I'm really optimistic about the Prime Minister and certainly Mr. Hudson that I spoke to on the energy file. Excellent conversations. They were on the same page on a lot of things, and they just want good things for Canadians and good things for Nova Scotians.
But Houston also says he talked about other natural resources possibilities in the province as well, including potential in the offshore gas industry. The Premier adds he did get something concrete out of the meetings, but didn't share what that was. I'm Mark Hodgins.
Now, after the Nova Scotia legislature wrapped up business following a short 8-day sitting last week, the Assembly of Nova Scotia Mi'kmaq Chiefs calling for a meeting with Premier Tim Houston, saying the Premier's making unilateral decisions and pushing through legislation with hidden agendas. In a statement issued Friday, one chief accused Houston of trying to, quote, stifle the voices of our nation. The chiefs say Houston appears to be changing things for the convenience of the government and ignoring processes long established with the Mi'kmaq. Chief Terrence Paul says Houston and his government need to know that, quote, they are not the only ones calling the shots. Nova Scotia's Serious Incident Response Team says it could not find any reasonable grounds to believe that Halifax police officers committed a criminal offense when a man died as he was being arrested earlier this year in Halifax. The Police Oversight Agency says that on February 22nd, 22nd, Halifax Regional Police officers were dispatched to a home to help a man who was experiencing a mental health crisis. When police arrived, the man threw items at the officers. He resisted their attempts to arrest under the Involuntary Psychiatric Treatment Act. During a struggle, a stun gun was used to subdue the man, but his health quickly deteriorated and he died after he was placed in handcuffs. Picket lines by Canada Post workers across the country went up last week, and the union representing postal workers reacting to the latest offer.
Canada Post presented a new offer on Friday, and the Canadian Union of Postal Workers is reviewing the 500-page proposal, calling it a major step backwards that includes less than what it rejected in August. It included many terms from its previous final offers in May, but removed a signing bonus and added provisions related to expected job cuts. The union declared a strike after the federal government promised to overhaul the Crown Corporation to stabilize its finances. The corporation said all mail-in parcels in the postal network would be delivered once operations resumed. Naira Ahmed, the Canadian Press.
An Air Canada flight from Halifax to London, England had to turn around roughly a half an hour after it departed yesterday afternoon due to a bird strike. According to the Nova Scotia Fire and Emergency Info Facebook page, fire crews responded to the incident shortly after noon yesterday. The plane landed without incident. Passengers were posted in a hotel for the night. Their next flight out will be today. Well, some Canadian charities are concerned that the Canadian postal workers strike is going to result in a drop of donations during Thanksgiving and the holiday season. But one Nova Scotia-based charity confident they will get through this bump on the road. 95.7's Blake Priddle with the story.
Souls Harbor is known for their hard work in helping people in need and for providing Thanksgiving dinners. While they receive most of their financial donations in the mail, the charity's CEO and co-founder Michelle Porter has faith that they will continue to get the support they need. Here she tells us how you can make donations.
If you want to give money, you can go to Mission Mart, drop it off at the tills. You can come to Halifax location on Canard. It's open 24 hours a day. Or you can bring something to your local drop-in center as well. We need gifts in kind. We need gifts for people to make the holiday special. We need bus tickets all the time. And then, of course, just turkey and fixings.
Souls Harbor is also in need of new volunteers to help out. And if you're interested in becoming a volunteer, or if you need more information on how you can make a donation, visit soulsharbor.ca. I'm Blake Priddle.
Coming up in 60 seconds, traffic and weather together. And as well, Canadian researchers using AI to develop what could be a breakthrough antibiotic treatment for Crohn's and inflammatory bowel disease. You're listening to 95.7 News Radio.
Lennox in the air means money in your pocket. Turn to Halifax Heat Pumps and Electrical for special offers happening today that will put high-quality Lennox air in your home and savings back in your pocket. For a limited time, they're offering up to $1,800 in rebates or no payments for 6 months on a brand new Lennox system. For great products, big savings, and perfect air, call Halifax Heat Pumps and Electrical today at 902-495-2623 or visit them online at halifaxheatpumps.com. Attention Moose Country businesses. The Halifax Mooseheads are gearing up for another big season, and your brand can be a part of the action. Align your business with one of the most beloved teams in the city, reaching passionate fans all season long. With every goal, save, and cheer, your brand will be front and center. Don't miss out on this unique opportunity to grow your business and support local hockey. Call us today at 493-7194. That's 902-493-7194 to secure your spot.
95.7 News Time 6:41. Time for Rogers 5G home internet. Traffic and weather together on the ones. With Halifax's most frequent traffic reports, here is Gord Taylor.
Well, good morning. Not seeing a lot of activity on the major routes so far. Looking good around the Bedford Basin on the Harbor Bridges on the 102 inbound heading towards downtown. Traffic is starting to build up a bit on Main Street approaching Forest Hills Parkway. Work plan today at Dunbrack between Lacewood and Main Avenue. That work gets underway at 9 o'clock this morning. Need new tires. Get up to $100 off when you buy 4 eligible Toyo tires at Autobox until December 20th. Details at autobox.ca. Take a look at your Monday forecast. Here's weather specialist Alistair Alders.
Could be breaking some temperature records today. 28 degrees, the guaranteed high, feeling like 32. I mean, that is well above the record of 24 degrees set back in 2005 at the airport. Might be a bit more challenging to break the record at Shearwater, but it's certainly possible. Aside from some morning fog degrees, a southwest wind of 20 to 40, and then watching a cold front for Wednesday with cloudy skies, rain developing later in the afternoon, continuing through the evening with a gusty southwest wind, the high 21. Today's guaranteed high 28.
And currently in downtown Halifax, 15. At the airport, 14. Guaranteed high 28. 95.7 News Radio is the only station with a weather guarantee. Today's jackpot sits at $2,250. And for your chance to win, head to our website, halifax.citynews.ca, and then follow the links. 95.7 News Time, 6:43. Well, researchers in Canada are using artificial intelligence to develop what could be a breakthrough antibiotic treatment for Crohn's and inflammatory bowel disease.
McMaster University's John Stokes, his team, and partners at the Massachusetts Institute of Technology are using AI to isolate a new antibiotic treatment in less than half the time it would normally take. Stokes says developing a new antibiotic normally costs millions of dollars and takes several years. However, with AI sequencing, his lab completed the first steps in about 6 months and for roughly $60,000. Canada has one of the highest rates of inflammatory bowel disease globally, and there is currently no cure. Don Mitchell, the Canadian Press.
Coming up after sports, Global Affairs Canada says 2 Canadians are being detained in Israel. You're listening to 95.7 News Radio.
This is Clinton Wilkins. You really need to trust the people that you're doing business with. Consumers more and more want education, and they want someone who can hold their hand and really wrap their arms around them for some of the biggest transactions of their life. We have hundreds of 5-star reviews, and we're here to really support our community, our customer, our team, and our business partners. So trust your mortgage with an unbiased mortgage professional. We'll provide expert advice and make sure we give you the best possible financing for your situation. To learn more, visit us online at teamclinton.ca/radio.
With City TV Plus, you can stream more of the shows you love from television's biggest brands.
We're going the distance on entertainment.
FX, HGTV, Bravo, Food Network, Discovery, ID, and more. It's all killer, no filler. There's a whole lot more drama, more true crime, more lifestyle, more reality.
Can I have the crazy Pearly Hilton?
There's more to stream and more to love.
Oh my God, I love it.
Get more entertainment with City TV Plus. Start your free trial today at citytvplus.ca. The more you listen, the more you'll know. 95.7 News Radio, Halifax.
Mostly clear, 15 in downtown Halifax. Good morning. I'm Shelley Summers. Here are the stories making news this morning. The Lake George wildfire continues to burn out of control this morning as crews battle dry, windy conditions. In an update last night, the Department of Natural Resources saying the fire is an estimated 285 hectares in size. As well, a fire at an apartment building in Windsor over the weekend has left approximately 10 people homeless. And coming up after sports, peace talks to begin between Hamas and Israel today in Egypt. 95.7 News Time, 6:45. Now from Sportsnet Radio, here's Simon Bennett.
The Halifax Mooseheads 4-2 to start the season, coming back to beat Moncton in their barn in overtime yesterday. They tied it in the third period. Then it was Quinn Kennedy, the OT winner, a 2-1 victory over the Wildcats. So a decent start to the season, and that was just a brief break from a busy home October. 6 in a row in Scotiabank Center coming up Thursday against Rimouski. Incredibly, the Toronto Blue Jays will have brooms ready at the Bronx tomorrow. Of course, the Jays' most iconic bat flip in a decade. TVA with a French goal, the first postseason grand slam in Jays history. Speaking of incredible, Trey Savage, his 4th Major League start, no hits through 5 1/3. His 11 strikeouts at Jays playoff record. Toronto up 2-0 in the Yankees in the ALDS with a 13-7 win. Also going deep, Dalton Varsho twice along with George Springer and Ernie Clement. Game 3 with a chance to move on tomorrow. Julio Rodriguez, the go-ahead double in the 8th inning as Seattle beat Detroit 3-2. That series at 1. NFL, the remaining unbeaten teams both lost yesterday. New England with the 23-20 stunner in Buffalo to hand the Bills their first defeat. Denver came back to beat the Eagles 21-17. Sportsnet.ca is all the scores. 4-1. Jacksonville hosting Kansas City tonight. And back to hockey. NHL preseason is done. Rosters have to be in by 6 o'clock. The Leafs open up Wednesday against Montreal. With the Sports Center, I'm Simon Bennett.
Ladies and gentlemen, listen up. This may not happen again in our lifetime. Ultimate Home Comfort is having a huge sale, an inventory reduction sale. What the
sales. It's worth stopping in to see what you can't live without. Save at least 10%, as much as 50%. Look for the red tags now during the inventory reduction sale at Ultimate Home Comfort, Atlantic Canada's largest hearth and patio showrooms, in Halifax at 160 Chain Lake Drive.
Hello, and welcome to OnStar. Your OnStar account is currently inactive. Please push the blue OnStar button again to activate your account. Learn more about OnStar services or speak to an OnStar advisor.
150 activists were arrested and detained in Israel after the fleet of 42 boats seeking to break Israel's naval blockade of Gaza was intercepted. The Israeli Foreign Ministry says it offered voluntary deportation to all of the activists, and those that remain in detention chose to stay there in order to go through a legal deportation process. Some activists have returned to their home countries, describing the abuse, humiliation, and torture they endured at the hands of Israeli guards. Global Affairs Canada says consular officials are in touch with local authorities. Naira Ahmed, the Canadian Press.
Meantime, peace talks between Hamas and Israel expected to start today in Egypt. Those talks follow U.S. President Donald Trump's ultimatum to Hamas to accept a 20-point plan or be destroyed. Reporter Ian Pennell is in Jerusalem.
The main sticking point is that President Trump and Prime Minister Netanyahu insisted that Hamas essentially consign itself to the dustbin of history, that they decommission, they disarm, lay down their arms, there's a decommission program, and they will not be involved in the future governance of Gaza. Now, Hamas did say in response to President Trump that they are willing to hand over to what they call the technocratic Palestinian body.
Yesterday, hundreds of thousands of people around the world staged protests in support of Palestinians in Gaza. Coming up in 60 seconds, traffic and weather together on the ones. And food delivery apps broadening their horizons and promising to bring more than just food to your doorstep. You're listening to 95.7 News Radio.
95.7 News Radio, Halifax.
Save Dartmouth Code. What a slogan. Sadly, it means do nothing. Nothing to remediate the code after 100 plus years of pollution. Nothing to seal 6 plus feet of toxic sludge found under the code. Nothing to save the marine habitat. Nothing. Just a slogan. City Council seems on board for doing nothing. They're getting ready to pass a do nothing infilling bylaw. Nothing about this bylaw acknowledges federal jurisdiction. Nothing about city staff recommending against this bylaw for liability reasons. Nothing about this bylaw making it impossible to save Dartmouth Code. Nothing. Just a slogan. So say goodbye to a waterfront connection from Alderney to Woodside. Say goodbye to $800,000 of taxes spent on the Dartmouth Waterfront Revitalization Plan. Say goodbye to the only plan that actually saves Dartmouth Cove. Save Dartmouth Cove, saving the view for a select few. Visit onedartmouthcove.ca to take action.
Paid for by 419-7847 Nova Scotia Limited. Traffic for Shoppers Drug Mart. Now until Wednesday, visit Shoppers Drug Mart for the bonus redemption event and get more for your points. Offer valid in-store and online.
95.7 News Time, 6:51. Time for Rogers 5G home internet traffic and weather together on the ones. With Halifax's most frequent traffic reports, here is Gord Taylor.
A light build up on the inbound routes. I've seen any collisions so far. Traffic flowing well on both the McDonald and McKay bridges, but starting to get busy on Main Street as you approach Forest Hills Parkway. Work continues today in Iceville from Bloomfield Street to Yonge. That's rolling closures starting at 7 o'clock this morning. Need new tires, get up to $100 off when you buy 4 eligible Toyo tires at Autobucks until December 20th. Details at autobucks.ca. With your latest forecast, here's weather specialist Alistair Walters.
Fog patches will dissipate, otherwise mainly sunny with west-southwest wind of 15 to 30 today, and it's going to feel like summer out there with a guaranteed high of 28 degrees, feeling more like 32. The temperature 22 right along parts of the coast. If you're not a fan of this late season heat, I'll talk about the cool down in just a moment. But tonight it's mild through the overnight with a low of 14 with mainly clear skies, a west-southwest wind of 15 to 30. Tuesday's mainly sunny, a bit cooler but still warm, 22. Southwesterly winds of 20 to 40 under these mainly sunny skies. But a cold front moves in for Wednesday with cloud cover and then rain developing later in the afternoon through Wednesday night. Looks like 10 to 20 millimeters right now, but I'll keep an eye on it. The high 21 degrees with a gusty southwest wind. And behind that cold front, much cooler. Only 13 on Thursday with a mix of sun and cloud. Perhaps an early morning shower. Friday is mainly sunny and 14. Today's guaranteed high, though, 28.
And currently in downtown Halifax, we're sitting at 15, at the airport 14, and as Alistair said, guaranteed high 28 today. 95.7 News Radio has traffic and weather together every 10 minutes on the ones in the morning, also in the afternoon at 1, 11, 21, 31, 41, and 51 minutes past the hour. Recapping our lead story, the Lake George wildfire continues to burn out of control this morning. Crews continuing to battle dry, windy conditions. Over 100 firefighters still working and fighting that fire, along with airplanes, helicopters, and several pieces of heavy machinery. We'll have the latest on this, as well as other top stories, coming up at the top of the hour with Chris Halef. You're listening to 95.7 News Radio.
95.7 News Radio, Halifax.
Well, food delivery apps broadening their horizons and promising to bring more than just food to your front door. Food industry analyst Vince Scaglione says that's because food delivery apps have hit maturity in the restaurant space.
Delivery is still there. It's still an important part of the food service industry, but it's not growing by leaps and bounds anymore. It's just growing like any other segment of the food service market.
And Scaglione saying that retail has opened up a new revenue stream for the delivery apps, which can help them find new customers.
Maybe there's one more obstacle between you and the throne. If we do not act, we'll lose everything.
The new season of House of David premiering today. The series rocketed to #1 on Prime after debuting back in February, with Amazon reporting more than 44 million viewers worldwide. Season 2 debuts exclusively on the new Wonder Project subscription service that will cost an additional $8.99